We are recording.
So a very sugary fruit.
I'm not gonna masturbate it.
Bananas. Personally, I try to stay as close to keto
Do a
as
quick,
I can when I
let's do a
diet.
quick practice run.
Also, if you brush your tongue and then drink
I did do a
coffee
little
right
bit of
after,
pre-practice.
the bad bacteria and cravings seem to come
I mean, I
right
did a
back.
lot of pre-practice.
So I
What
would
am I
highly
talking about?
recommend that you do not drink coffee
39
or
to
energy
100,
drinks while you're dieting.
9 to the
Organic
drop,
green tea appears to be
48
fine,
I
though.
specifically.
Of course,
and
if
then,
you want extra information or if you're on
Yeah.
medications or something and want to make sure that these recommendations are safe for you, then talk to your doctor or your dentist. Outside of that, if you still have strong cravings that make it difficult to stay on your diet, then work stress and life stress are also huge factors that make people want to overeat or binge. You might want to start reorganizing your life to make it less stressful, or take on fewer responsibilities if you're overworking, or figure out how to do things more efficiently. You'd be surprised how much faster you can learn to do things with a little internet research. Anyway, thanks for watching. Follow me on Twitter. and I'll see you in the next video.
Yeah.
Crap. Alright, we're live. And let's see. Do a little fix here.
He's a white guy? He said the N-word before.
A penalty shootout, who has the most psychological pressure, the striker or goalie? All the pressure's on the striker. Because you're not expected to say that. Google said striker faces significantly more pressure, goalkeepers have zero expectations. Exactly.
Secret is MVP Asia Wilson's go-to antiperspirant. It's earned Allure's Best of Beauty Award 3 years running.
Guess the chicken for $100.
Ooh, hold on. Just KFC. Just Publix chicken.
Yo, is the beeping alarm necessary?
This one's for sure. Popeyes.
The joke is that you can see through the bottom of the blindfold. And if you didn't notice that, then it might be the magician's sleight of hand of distracting you with the ceiling bird that's in the background. That being said, welcome to Stereotypes. And on that note, we have a TikTok sociologist here who got 3 million views for explaining the reasoning behind the smoke detector phenomenon.
Have you ever thought about how we came to associate the beep of a dying fire alarm with being broke?
Really? Because I've always associated people not being able to replace a battery with being stupid and lazy.
Where's the excuse me?
You see what I mean about the quality of person who lets those things go off incessantly? But I guess I'm wrong. Not having about $3.50 to quiet the noise of a safety device that's designed to piss you off until you fix it is really just about being born into oppressive situations, and the generational trauma from that has caused them to become immune to the sound.
I'm a sociologist, and sociology is the study of society and human behavior in social context. One of my 5 major focuses is the biopsychosocial axis, or somatics, and the social is how our lived experiences are, at least in part, the responsibility of someone else and vice versa.
Holy shit, man, we get it. You've read a book before. This is Kaizen Nat in like 3 years.
Her love for me goes beyond all reasons and does not come from a place of reciprocity. Reciprocity, yes.
The sad thing is that simply being willing to look up a word that you didn't know puts them ahead of most college English majors according to this literacy study. But let me translate for all the people who
19?
didn't waste time taking college classes in a field that is largely considered to be a joke these
It's locked
days.
in, guys.
Essentially, the sociology guy said, if you're too lazy to change a battery, that's the fault of society, not yours.
Today I want to talk about the prefrontal cortex. In order to identify the relationship between beeping fire alarms, being broken, and the prefrontal cortex, we need to understand what the prefrontal cortex is. But the prefrontal cortex also has a role in governing executive function. And executive function is many things, but I mostly identify it as the ability to identify, initiate, follow through on, and complete a task.
Bro, it's not that complicated. You open
21?
the smoke detector, take the battery out, get a new battery, and put the new battery in. And if you're too ignorant of how electronics operate to figure that out by yourself, then there are like a million YouTube shorts that will teach you how to do that in like a minute. I mean, for how ridiculously easy this is, it is insane how many black people I've covered on this channel who have beeping smoke detectors go off in the background. For those of you who are regular viewers, I don't go out and Google like 500 videos of black people just to find the one person who has a ceiling bird chirping in the background. When I cover people like that rapper Dank Damas who sued Lyft because she was too fat to fit into a normal sized car, it's just in the video of her talking about the event.
I'm outside and you put it off on me, bitch. I don't give a fuck if you gave me my fucking money back.
There's a reason why black people get ridiculed for this. There's a reason why other black people are ridiculing black people for this.
And I just really feel like I deserve this job. And if there's one thing about me, if there's something that needs to be fixed, I will fix it.
I'm just sitting here waiting for this guy who's writing his doctoral thesis on smoke alarms to call me a racist for criticizing black culture.
Listen the fuck up, white people. Every other race is more racist than you. You don't believe me? Ask a black person what they think about a Chinese guy. Ask a Jew what they think about black people. Ask an Indian what they think about Mexicans.
Ask a Japanese person what they think about the Chinese. Actually, you don't have to. They'll just tell you. So miss me with the racism bullshit. It's current year and everyone's done with getting called racist for criticizing the behavior of anyone who isn't white. Anyway, let's get back to why the African American community can't figure out how batteries work.
One of the most common circumstances in which we can identify a dysregulated prefrontal cortex and by extension an inhibited capacity for executive functioning is in people with an ADHD diagnosis. ADHD is characterized by a lot of things, but chief among them the ability to identify, initiate, follow through on, and complete tasks. This is also why adults with ADHD can have a hard time being on time to things. Because if the prefrontal cortex is not firing the way it's supposed to, it's just not firing. And no amount of yelling or frustration or cutting people off is going to change that.
Let me just get ChatGPT to translate that last segment, and he's saying that black people are late all the time because of biology. Well, that sounds kind of racist, but whatever. Now, I know he didn't say black people, but notice how he's only covering black stereotypes as he uses his college degree to continuously make excuses for the problem instead of providing solutions.
There are a lot of biopsychosocial phenomena that correspond with the dysregulation of the prefrontal cortex or other parts of the brain, like anxiety and depression, but also acute and chronic stress and trauma. And those are the ones that I kind of want to focus on, especially because the definitions of stress and trauma and what constitutes something that is stressful or traumatic isn't really up to you or somebody else. What does is the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis and the sympathoadrenomedullary axis, which are structures within the brain that govern our stress response. When they identify something that constitutes stress, they release stress hormones. They release cortisol, they release adrenaline, norepinephrine.
Yeah, cortisol.
And in circumstances where there are continual stressors that they can identify, they are releasing that on the loop. They're releasing it too frequently, and this overwhelms the brain and dysregulates its traditional functions.
My God, enough with the SAT words. Speak normally. If I wanted to watch someone masturbate all over themselves, then I would just go chat. I can't stand it when people speak like this, because the point is not to effectively communicate an idea. The point is to make people think you're smart. Look, he even pulls out a book to read, which I'm sure that decision had nothing to do with another negative stereotype about black culture. But you know what? I do think it's fine to use specific or esoteric terminology when you're talking to your colleagues who are knowledgeable in that field. For example, if you want to spend time talking about neurotransmitters with your friends who are psychology majors, I think that's great and useful. But when people speak like this to general audiences, quite honestly, I think it's pretentious. I think it's done to make the speaker look good at the expense of making the audience feel stupid. And most importantly, I have yet to see a person who speaks like this to general audiences who wasn't doing that to hide the fact that he is either saying nothing of importance or hide the fact that his argument is retarded. Because certainly not being able to simplify his talking points so that regular people can follow along is a sign that he doesn't understand them that well.
Now, there are countless studies, many of which I draw on for my own research, that link the lived experience of low income or impoverished socioeconomic status with deviations in longitudinal adolescent neurological development, which is just adolescent neurological development over time, and well into adulthood.
I have longitudinal studies on the lived experiences of the adolescent trauma response to the intricate modalities of semi-hardwired electronic warning devices. Okay, where are the studies then? It's a VOD. Show them. Put them on screen as B-roll. You know how to use a video editor, right? 12-year-olds can figure that out.
25%.
I mean, you're going to read a book and use all those $10
Let's go,
words,
brother.
but you're incapable of bringing up a study to help confirm your hypothesis about smoke detectors? Is it ever a shock how these people are required to cite sources on their college papers
God, I
or
hate when
risk
people
getting
say.
expelled? But they can't
You
put a
should
source in the
circle
video
on
to
your
save their
first,
life.
me,
And the crazy
for
thing here
demon.
is not the fact
No.
that this video got millions of views.
No.
The crazy thing
Do
is
not
all the
encourage
people in
it.
the comments who are acting like this guy is the second coming of Jesus.
You
For
should
using a
do
bunch of technical jargon to say that it's not your fault
this level.
if you're
This
too
is
stupid to
way
change a
closer
battery.
to medium-
This guy is like the human equivalent to Duolingo.
A medium tier
That app will
hard
waste tons of your
An
time
easy
making
tier
you think
hard
that you're
unit
learning
is
Japanese
perfect,
without
like
actually
Golden
teaching
Hope.
you anything significant outside of a few
Which
colors
is
and
how
how
I
to say
started
hello.
out.
There's no bigger indicator that someone will never get past beginner level at
I
a
think Golden
language
Hope is a way
than
better
them saying
starter
that they
than
study
Hard
with Duolingo. So this is like the TikTok influence.
Small.
like every other
Let's go. We got to the drop.
Super Glue here at Trader Joe's. I'm asking Trader Joe's to stop selling Chinese telephone poultry. Stop profiting.
Granger professional grade products, easy ordering, and next day delivery.
We got the 41.
For everyone, keeping arenas game day ready.
Alright, let's open up some chests.
Stop by.
Let's open up this one.
For the
That's
ones
too
who get it
big.
done.
Bang. Yeah.
Super Glue here at Trader Joe's.
Yo, give me
I'm
some.
asking Trader Joe's to stop
Bang.
selling
Okay, we'll take that.
Chinese telephone poultry. Stop profiting off of suffering.
Chickens deserve medical attention!
Tell me you've never taken care of chickens before without telling me you've never taken care of chickens.
W.
Chickens are
Okay, we'll
huge
take these.
assholes to each other, and taking them
61.
to the chicken doctor isn't going
Yeah.
to make them any nicer. Also, I hope
I
that
am
Google's
going
speaking.
though.
They checked that, right?
I was getting
But in the
frustrated.
latest season of the most annoying people on the internet, we have activists displaying their fetish for pasting themselves to shit in public. You have people gluing themselves to expensive cars, or there are people who are more direct and like gluing themselves to the road. And for some reason, they keep getting rescued from this self-inflicted problem. I don't know why they're setting the Trader Joe's guy free, just leave him there. That arm's going to get super uncomfortable from being in that position after about 30 minutes. In fact, let's try a little social experiment. Let's see how long it takes for this guy to get hungry enough to try raw chicken. Because the implication of their protest is like tearing you to not feel sorry for them when they do retarded stuff. Or they're threatening you with being annoying if you don't unstick them. But if you want this to stop, then the answer is to call their bluff. I mean, if you've been on Twitter for any amount of time, then you know the second that people stop putting up with their bullshit, the activists cave almost instantly. Here's one of my favorite moments from some people who think it's a good idea to block the road.
Shit's fucking in.
This has all the self-awareness of someone sucker punching you in the face, followed by them crying when you strike back. You're not being peaceful. You're trying to force people into your ideology by being a public nuisance. So don't be shocked when those who are unhappy with your bullying tactics try to move you out of the way. The funny thing here is that it looks like this sign says private jets, so they're protesting fossil fuels as they force this whole line of people to sit there, probably with their cars running if it's hot outside, for God knows how long. The environmentalist groups aren't sending their best.
Women did not get the vote by voting.
I guess men voted for them to have the right to vote, so you're welcome?
It is time for deeds and not words. It is time to just stop oil.
Do these people realize how many will die if the world stopped using oil tomorrow? Our whole economy is
46,
based
let's
on
go.
oil. The great thing is that when these activists spread their luxury beliefs, it's the poor, who they pretend to advocate for, that suffer the most. But I think people are missing some context here for why the activists protest like this. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say it's because they're mentally ill, and yes, that is a part of it. Mentally ill people are those who refuse to accept reality on reality's terms, which is why they can be so easily tricked into believing numerous falsehoods, and why they are too blind to see how the way they protest is actually hurting their cause. So that's part one. The second part of this is that people in general have the psychological need to feel like they've contributed to their respective communities, but these people don't know how to do that usefully because they're too lazy and too incompetent from an educational standpoint to research and fact check stuff, despite having college degrees. So they'll just shit everywhere and say, "Look, I'm helping," as they piss off everyone who has to clean up after them. And last, but certainly not least, because I read, I know that the activists are primarily following the tactics of an old book called Rules for Radicals. Now, there's a lot of stuff in this book, but when it comes to protesting, the basic strategy is to go into a high-trust society and do whatever you can to violate the cultural norms, or just in general, be as much of a pain in the ass as possible as a form of protest. It's basically the political version of what those nuisance streamers are doing in Japan to get attention. The hope is that the people in the high-trust society will put up with bullying tactics out of politeness and concede to the demands of the activists. And this was probably a very effective tactic before Elon bought Twitter, and when it was much easier to lie to everyone to manage the bad PR that's a result of this type of protesting. But now that we're in the post-Elon buying Twitter times, the correct answer is to just make an example of these people and try to make them suffer 10 times more than they're trying to make you suffer, because then they'll stop doing it. They only do this stuff because people aren't fighting back, and by the way, just to be clear, they have to protest like this because nobody agrees with them. They are completely tone deaf to how many people on their own political side don't like them.
I'm not even a Republican, but every time someone on the left opens their mouth right now, like, I am this close to becoming a Republican. When I hear the words, "no human is illegal," coming from a group of people that more than likely own fucking passports, like, I'm this close to putting a MAGA hat in my car. I have very leftist views, okay? I don't like guns. I believe in trans rights. I believe that if you're a consenting adult, you can do whatever the hell you want to with your body.
Yes.
When you start replacing words like mother with birth giver, and you see people like Gavin Newsom calling his own wife the first partner of California, like, I can feel my soul applying for an NRA membership. Don't even get me started on 4th of July. Oh my God. Every time that a leftist says that they're not celebrating 4th of July or that 4th of July is canceled, I promise you, another piece of American flag clothing gets put in my car. I mean, maybe at this point I should thank you for reviving my patriotism, because every time you open your mouth, I become more and more of a patriot for this country.
She's wearing the woke uniform and she's like, nah, these guys are too woke for me. I'm out. I'm going to go cleanse myself with an AR-15 and an American flag. I mean, I don't blame her. For one,
49, let's
illegal
go!
and border security has always been something that both parties agree on. The recent political disagreement on this is artificial. I'm old enough to remember when amnesty for illegals was a very unpopular right-wing grift from George Bush Jr. But also, it's got to be frustrating as a liberal to watch the most bad-faith influencers represent your values.
Hey guys, we gotta talk about ICE.
Right now, ICE agents are
violently detaining, searching,
And arresting our neighbors at alarming rates.
Resistance to the enforcement of this administration's
white supremacist police state
Is being met with lethal force.
by unqualified individuals who disregard the law and human dignity.
Linda Davis.
Keith Porter Jr.,
Silverio Villegas Gonzalez, Isaias Sanchez Barbosa, Renee Good, and Alex Preti
Are unfortunately just a few of ICE's victims.
I'm guessing none of these liars think you'll actually Google the names. Linda Davis was not a victim of ICE. She was killed by an illegal alien who was fleeing from officers that were trying to detain him. Yet another death of an American that could have been prevented by better border security. Keith Porter Jr. was some retard who was firing a rifle into the air of a populated area, which can kill people, by the way, when the bullets come back down. And allegedly, he was unalived as he pointed his rifle at an off-duty ICE officer who I guess was a better shot. Isaiah Sanchez Barbosa was a part of an illegal alien caravan and was shot as he was resisting border enforcement. Look how PBS reports this. A Mexican citizen. Everything to hide the fact that he was crossing the border illegally. They just lie constantly. Nothing these people say is true. Silverio Gonzalez was an alcoholic, illegal alien who was likely driving under the influence of cocaine and was shot in retaliation as he drove his car into a cop who was trying to arrest him. You've got to be fucking kidding me. He had no criminal history. 2 paragraphs ago, you said he was driving under the influence, or heavily implied it, and you said he had signs of alcoholism and a history of reckless driving. So he probably was regularly driving under the influence. And that's not all. It says here that he had just dropped his kids off minutes before the stop. So you mean to tell me that he got caught with like a crack pipe? I mean, I'm guessing it's something like that, considering that they were vague about what drug-related items he had on him. So he has hard drugs in his system and gets caught with drug paraphernalia minutes after he dropped his kids off at school. Father of the year, right? I can't imagine why anyone would want him deported. Now, believe it or not, it gets worse. In the article, there's an anchor baby congresswoman defending Silverio's actions named Delia Ramirez, who said last year in Spanish that she's a Guatemalan before she's an American. Saying shit like that should get you thrown out of Congress. That's treason. Can you see why my demeanor against these people has gone from more neutral in the past to now more hostile? Finding out the amount that they knowingly lie when you research their claims will make you hate them. To be clear, I'm not talking about people like Shoe on Head who tries to accurately report the news from a left-leaning standpoint. When I talk about people like Noah Sampson or Nicole Raffi, I'm saying that their research is so negligent that I can only assume that they're knowingly spreading disinformation for money and social media clout. People on the left should consider influencers like this to be traitors who are selling out the reputation and trust in their party for personal gain. And as for the names that were said that I didn't address, maybe don't try to obstruct an arrest and maybe don't resist being detained with your vehicle while an officer is standing in front of it. Death by cop would drop to almost zero if people just stopped resisting arrest and dealt with potential illegal police activity in courts. The amount of lies that these people tell is ridiculous, and when they get caught being malicious or doing outright evil, they'll try to prey on people's sympathy to get out of it. This is why Twitter users are posting free room memes to describe them. It's a pretty accurate metaphor because you'll have like a woman try to trip a cop while he's running at full speed in pursuit, which could have injured him pretty badly if he didn't dodge it. But when they go to arrest her for assault, she says, "Help, I'm a victim."
I did not do anything. I did not do anything. Help me.
Fortunately,
Free yourself from prying eyes. Ask privately with Duck.ai. Visit Duck.ai to chat privately with ChatGPT, Claude.
You've known us for a long time. Our name matters to us and to our clients.
Fortunately, someone caught it on camera. But the more we make an example out of people who are being abusive, and the more we set the record straight when they try to lie, the less we'll have to put up with this category of person in the future. I mean, I wouldn't even call them liberals. Actual liberals probably hate these people because they make them look bad. These people can't even be honest about their own base desires, so they have to do all these crazy mental gymnastics to justify their life circumstances.
I know that there is a new movement going around in like the body acceptance sphere that is called categories, and what it describes is the different levels of privilege you have based on how fat you are.
What?
And so there's things like small fat, mid fat, super fat, and death fat. Can you tell me what category of fat I fit in? So it's based on your shirt size. So if you are a 1 or 2X, you are small fat. 3 to 4X, you are mid fat. 5 to 6X, you are super fat. So someone in a small fat category may not struggle getting on an airplane, but someone in a mid fat or super fat may not be able to use even the airplane extender. So that's where that comes in, and like the privilege levels of like what fat means to different people.
Didn't Ozempic get rid of these people? I thought this was out of meta. The funny thing though is that these are the same people who will talk about how we have to get rid of oppressive hierarchies brought on by capitalism. But biologically speaking, humans have an inherent desire to try to rank high on some sort of hierarchy. So in the very next argument, to satisfy their need for status, they'll create their own system where being the most useless person puts you at the top. You see, this person is a super fat, therefore they have the most points on the oppression hierarchy.
You said privilege, right? Like, so if somebody is less fat, then them being able to get onto an airplane is a privilege? Or is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Then they'll follow these types of arguments up with a classy platitude about how they don't like racism or sexism, while also telling you about how you have to vote for someone because they're black or a woman, like this movie trailer does.
Who are you guys voting for? Obama. Hillary. She'd be the first woman president. He'd be the first black president.
The real question, though, is how do we avoid being this cringe? How do we prevent people from being like this outside of letting deserving individuals find out? Well, I think we can, in part, begin by understanding where these people are coming from and their psychology, because as much as they want to pretend that they're nonconformist and not like everybody else and they can go against human biology, what's actually going on here is that they're acting out because they have human needs that aren't being met in their regular lives. So to get those needs met, they go to these counterproductive protests and act out in these ways because people don't value them.
I'm gonna play something
They end up
else
finding
for
value
now.
by teaming up with other undesirables, and they get people to pay attention to them by screaming or blocking roads. Also, understand that people like this don't make changes to become likable because they have all sorts of limiting beliefs or they think they can change things merely by wishing they were different.
I also wanted to make a point of the very first thing that was said over here during this prompt is that people that do not go to the gym or have like a healthy lifestyle are lazy. So far from beyond what I actually live. I work a lot. I put a lot of time and energy into the career that I have, and to think that someone can take a look at me from across the room and say she's lazy because of the way that I look is so sad. I'm mad at that.
Remember how I said that mental illness is about not being able to deal with reality on reality's terms? The reality is that people do assume that you're lazy, and to an extent they're right because you're an addict. A part of being a hard worker is a willingness to spend time learning new information and a willingness to change. And being super obese is evidence that you aren't doing that in a very crucial area. Personally, I don't consider anyone to be a hard worker until they've maxed out their day to be so full of work that they have to dedicate time to looking for faster ways to do things just so they can have healthy work hours. I mean, it sure as hell is hard work to dig a deep hole with a spoon instead of a shovel, but digging that hole with a spoon doesn't make you a hard worker, it makes you an idiot. And there are a lot of people out there shoveling with spoons, overworking themselves, and sacrificing time with their family and friends because they don't want to watch a few-minute workflow video on YouTube. The point I'm making here is that the reason that these people become annoying is because no one wants to deal with them in their personal lives. And I think that's due to not knowing a lot of useful information. One of the biggest reasons that people do messed up things or evil stuff is because they're useless to those around them, which makes them a burden, and doing bad things is the only way they can get ahead. So if you want to reduce the number of people who are like this, then outside of making the appropriate people find out when it's deserved, The answer is to empower yourself with such good information through hard work, discipline, and research, so that for one, you've taken care of yourself, and so that two, your presence alone will inspire other people to make themselves better. I mean, also have a family, stick together, and treat your kids well, that'll help. However, if being outstanding by itself doesn't automatically inspire people, then at least you'll have incredibly specific and effective advice, so that when the time does come, you can enlighten people and snap them out of their shitty ideals by getting them to believe that they can make their lives better. Really, people just need to believe that they can make their situation better, and then you won't have to say that much, because they'll do all the investigation themselves, to the extent that their focus becomes self-improvement and giving back to others, instead of focusing on some dumb protest at Trader Joe's. Anyway, thanks for watching, follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you in the next video.
Hey, this be kind of fire.
We've all seen well-written genocidal villains like Haku, Lord Shen, Fire Lord Ozai, and even Bill Cipher. But the Lich is the purest, most terrifying example of one in modern animation. In fact, when we begin to reveal the several layers of writing that make him that way, it all starts to make sense in a shocking way. So why is this the case? How do you write a genocidal villain like the Lich? And what does Adventure Time understand that so many writers don't? In Adventure Time, the Lich is the main antagonist. He is an ancient being tied to death and destruction, who views himself as the last scholar of Golb. This Golb, by the way, is a cosmic embodiment of chaos, a mysterious force that the Lich worships, and their dynamic will later help us explain the ultimate truth about the Lich. The most important thing to note for now is where the Lich came from. You see, long before Finn, Jake, or even the land of Oo existed, a catalyst comet carried the essence of the Lich to Earth. Millions of years later, after the Mushroom War reduced much of the planet to ruins, a mutagenic bomb was dropped into the world, creating a radioactive puddle that gave the Lich his physical form. But Adventure Time does something very smart with him after this event. The movie made him a legend before he became an active threat. In Season 1, Episode 25, Billy, the greatest hero in Oo's history, tells the story of how he defeated a monster called the Lich King. During the flashback, Billy punches him through a tower, smashes him into amber, and seals him away. So it seems the battle is already over by the time we arrive. Then Season 2 arrives, and everything changes. In the episode Mortal Folly, Princess Bubblegum brings Finn and Jake into a hidden chamber inside a giant tree. She explains that the Lich once tried to destroy Oo and wipe out all life, but now he is trapped inside amber in the tree. She reveals that there are special gems that protect people from his spells, because the Lich can possess living creatures and bend them to his will. Now, take note of this particular detail about the Lich, because we will need it later. Anyway, when Princess Bubblegum talked, everything sounded under control, right? Well, not really, because soon, a snail that had accompanied the heroes was possessed by the Lich. This snail ends up breaking the amber, and suddenly, one of the most dangerous entities in the world is free again. But where things get interesting is when we fast forward to the Season 6 episode, Wake Up. At first glance, the Lich looks defeated. Actually, defeated is putting it lightly. The guy is sitting on the floor inside Prismo's time room. He stays completely still, looking exactly like a broken machine. His eyes stare into space, and his hands do not move a single inch. Almost like somebody unplugged him.
He's stuck at a standstill, like a machine without a purpose. You gotta come!
This is a very important scene to deliberate on because right there and then we are shown the effects of purposelessness. The Lich, despite his incredible power, is totally useless to the point that lesser characters can toy around with him. But what does this teach us about the first thing to do when writing a genocidal villain? To understand this, we have to go back to the end of Season 4. In that episode, the Lich tricked Finn into opening a portal to Prismo's time room. His objective was simple: reach Prismo, make a wish, and end all life. Once inside, he got exactly what he wanted because Prismo granted the wish. But then, Finn tried to undo the damage by wishing the Lich never existed. That created the farm world reality. Events spiraled from there until Jake finally used a wish of his own. Jake wished that the Lich's wish had been for Finn and Jake to return home, but the result was unexpected. Finn and Jake went back to Ooh, leaving the Lich behind, and just like that, he became trapped inside Prismo's time room. No more wishes, no way home, no universe to destroy, no life to extinguish. This brings us back to the Wake Up episode, because this might be the single most important lesson here. You see, the Lich sits there because he has no purpose. The Catalyst Comet origin frames him as a single-function being from birth, which gives us the initial explanation. However, Prismo explains it better for us. He says that the Lich functions like a machine, with his entire existence revolving around ending life. So, because his singular fundamental purpose is to destroy all life, he found himself in a paradox. In a universe where his wish was already granted and no life existed to destroy, he had no function. So, Prismo kept him confined in the time room, effectively rendering him a machine without a mission. The Lich still possesses all his power, intelligence, and knowledge, yet none of it matters because he lacks a direction, a why. With that, Adventure Time is essentially teaching us the first thing about creating a genocidal villain, which is to give them a reason for being. We see this exact same rule of writing when we look at other legendary villains across animation history. Fire Lord Ozai burns down nations because his entire purpose revolves around absolute colonial dominance and family legacy. Lord Shen wipes out an entire panda race because his motivation stems from a deep desire to conquer his own fate and outrun a prophecy. Aku inflicts centuries of suffering because his reason for being is to spread the absolute rule of darkness across the universe. Bill Cipher tears dimensions apart because his mind craves the ultimate freedom of pure, unadulterated chaos. Every single one of these monsters becomes unforgettable because their creators put a powerful driving why behind their quest for destruction. And this is why what happens next in Adventure Time makes absolute sense. You see, the Lich soon discovers an opportunity when Finn and Jake start looking for a way to wake Prismo's true body.
Okay, let's do it. Still feels like a bad idea, man. What could go wrong?
Well, the Lich could go wrong. He knows that waking a Wishmaster counts as a cost of harm, and that will earn him a one-way trip to the Crystal Citadel. He needs movement, targets, and a stage with stakes. And the Citadel offers the worst of the worst in one place.
We have a level now in 2
when
rounds.
Finn
That's
and
great.
Jake touch the wrong thread, and Prismo opens his eyes, it's over. Eventually, Prismo dies, the Lich gets transported away, and the moment of purpose returns. So does the villain. That is an incredible piece of writing because it shows motivation through action rather than dialogue. Nobody needed a speech explaining how important
Frame fucking perfect, bro. Oh my god.
Bro, you're not perfect.
What if that beach view they promised just got 100 times better?
Car takes a quarter?
Ooh, that's a rental. Aldi doesn't pay for car wranglers. Those savings go straight to you.
Okay, wait, I'm so pissed off. I just got home from a date. The guy walked out literally 10 minutes into our date. So we matched on Hinge, and I have really good photos of myself on Hinge. A few of them are AI generated. They look exactly like me.
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that. I feel like if you weren't trying to misrepresent something about your appearance, you wouldn't be using AI.
While we were out on our coffee / walking date, within like the first 15 minutes,
She
he asked
bad,
me
though.
where one of my photos was taken.
There's no need for the
I'm a
AI,
liar,
bro.
So I said that it was an AI generated
You
photo.
bad.
And he said, yeah, I don't think we're a match. And he left. He left. That seems so dramatic to me. And also, like, everyone is using AI generated photos. If they look like you, who cares? The ones I use with 3 months look exactly like me. They're not like the crappy ChatGPT ones. So what is the difference? Who cares? I don't know. If you're a straight man, let me know. What do you think?
You've got to be kidding me. gaslighting me. You're gaslighting, right? It's easy to see why the guy was mad. The most noticeable thing that it got rid of was your acne. Less noticeable to guys, but her hair looks super dry and frizzy in real life compared to the AI photo. And last, I think the most important one, is that it removed wrinkles that are here, 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 and here, which makes you look several years younger than you actually are. But you know what? Good. I love the idea of women using AI photos on dating apps, because the more severe the catfish, the more people will stop trying to find relationships on their phone. These apps are cancer. They're like if mobile game companies took over the relationship market. Anyway, it's been a while on this channel, so I thought we'd check back in with modern internet dating and see how it's going.
And ladies, even men who went to Harvard Business School are losers. I just went on a first date with a man. He picked a restaurant. I knew that this restaurant was a happening restaurant, but he picked it, and he went to Harvard. I thought that he knew to see if he was going to need a reservation. He went to Harvard.
If you don't think this is a made-up story for TikTok femcels, then you're an idiot. I believe this person more than I believe her.
I got catcalled twice on this walk.
No, you didn't. TikTok as a whole, especially the dating meta, is literally just the Arthur meme.
How do you know if any of this stuff is true?
What?
Just lie? You really think someone would
What's
do
the
that?
job?
Just
What's the job? Welcome to hell.
Bro, no one talks about how ass 9 Circles is, bro. Alright, the baby. This is the baby. The baby Allie, the dog, the baby Allie dog. What do you want, baby? What do you want? Allie, come here. Come here. I want to love you.
Yeah.
I want to love you. I want to love you, baby Allie. Also get the karma too. That's cool. It makes me black and blue and it fucks me so good and I can't get enough. Must be love on the brain. What's your issue? I am right here, yo. It's a frame perfect. Come here, Allie. I love you so much. I love this dog. I love the dog. Oh, that ship is impossible. Harder than the Silent Circles shit, bro. I would rather play Silent Circles than this bullshit, bro. How do you manage to die at fucking 99? See, people like this level way too much. And people glaze this level way too fucking much. Like, it's so bad. It is not good. What the fuck is this guy? Schneider. Okay. This place is fucking... Yeah, I'm not doing this shit, bro. It's just way too hard. Multi-El Dorado. It's like a buffed El Dorado. I don't know. This is his only rated level. Interesting shit, fam. How long will it take for me to find? Oh my god, can this dog shut up, dude? I am right here. There's no need to be like, me, you're fine. Damn. Come here, Allie. Or not. Fuck you. Yeah, but like, I'm immortal though. Okay, we got the drop. Let's go. I've seen a lot of videos about 9 circles, and like, the worst part about it is that the drop part isn't like thrown at you, you know? It's like you have to play the pre-drop. And it's actually really difficult. And I hate that part about it. It's just that I'm playing 9 circles so I can play a 9 circles level, you know? Or, you know, just the 9 circles level. I gotta play this long ass pre-drop, bro. And then he puts bullshit like that. The fuck was he cooking up? What is it now, Karma? What is it? What is it, Karma? What is your issue, pal? It fits me black and blue, then it fucks me so good, and I can't get enough. Must be love on the brain. I'ma feel versatile. Fortnite can be intense, but Takis can be seriously intense. Maybe we'll meet at a bar. I'll drive a funky. What's that song made by Oliver Tree? Maybe we'll meet at a bar. I'll drive a funky. Maybe we'll meet at a bar. I'll drive a funky. Is that tough, guys? You know what? It just might work. Maybe we'll meet at a bar. I'll drive a funky. Pretty sure that song's by Oliver Tree. Maybe we'll meet at a bar. I'll drive a funky. I'm pretty sure that song's by Oliver Tree. Yo, Henry, I'm recording.
No, I'm not. Where's my remote at, little Carl Llama Dharma? There he is. You're such a good girl. Who's my good puppy? You are.
Frame perfect timing. Oh shit.
That shit is so hilarious, and no matter how many times I watch this, it progressively
Maybe.
gets funnier every year.
I just mean that some of the details.
I don't wanna though.
I never thought of that. This is terrible.
Sure, I'll do
What
one.
if none of it's true? What if they're all lying? How would we ever know?
If they only knew how many social media influencers would base their entire careers off of telling incredibly obvious lies that people are too stupid to recognize. I mean, how many men are taking dating advice on women from guys who are obviously in the closet, and how many women are taking pointers from other women who are obviously prostitutes? I can't believe we still have women saying shit like this after a relationship guru
Can I do the
who was
Tartarus
got
jump?
cheated on by a Pokimane simp.
My husband loves me for simply existing. How do you and your husband?
Holy shit, I did it.
We don't. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street.
His money is our money, and my money is
Alright.
my money.
And I just think now, like, people are like, oh, that's gold digging or that's something. No, it's not.
Okay, then I'm digging.
Yeah, okay.
Gold.
Holy shit, this chick is married. Well, ultimately I blame the man in this situation because as bad as all the catfishing and TikTok advice is, it's not nearly as problematic as the people who willingly choose the wrong partners despite everyone trying to warn them. However, it is entertaining to watch them double down publicly, especially if I don't like them, so let's talk about it. The woman you just saw is Jesslyn Singh. She's the wife of an Indian stand-up comedian named Akash, and she has a podcast and a TikTok account where she started cannibalizing the career of her husband for views by openly talking about what a degenerate she is.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. I was popping my and living my best
What
life
the
in
fuck?
white boy frat houses, and I had a roster of guys that I would rotate.
So, lesson number one of the internet is to keep your mouth shut. Everyone should treat the internet like a police encounter instead of like a therapist. Anything you say can and will be used against you by your enemies, especially if your husband is in a male-centered space like a comedy podcast. Akash, did you not sit your wife down and tell her that it's a bad idea to talk about how promiscuous she was in college? Clearly he didn't, because that's not even the worst thing that she did.
He's on my hall pass list.
Oh, yeah.
Chase Crawford, Jacob Elordi, Austin Butler, and who else? Dean Thomas from the Harry Potter movies.
Would y'all ever have an orgy together with your husband?
Rhea,
She tried.
I'm actively trying to have an orgy because this couple is
What
so
the
fucking good
fuck are
looking.
we doing?
And you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him. His body goes crazy. His face part always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband.
There's a difference being a scammer and being a hustler. Two very different things.
Okay.
I'm a hustler who scams a little bit. I'm not a scammer who
I'm not
hustles.
gonna lie, that was sexy, and that's why I'm actively trying to have a.
This is a divorce
What
moment
the
right
fuck?
here. If my wife told me that she wanted to have sex with her best friend's husband, said it numerous times on the podcast, and then brought me on to talk about it while she flirts with that guy right in front of me, I would be calling my lawyer and drafting up papers. Now, for all the people saying that these situations are just random and you can never tell if a woman will treat you like this in the future, know that people always show signs that they aren't worth marrying if you wait a little bit before making a commitment. This one was obviously a bad idea. Her and her friend's entire personalities are TikTok.
Like, you don't have to justify your presence as, you know, wanting to be in your divine feminine energy and staying at home and not having as much stress.
I didn't wish her a happy happy birth month.
No,
Happy birthday.
We gotta stop.
Happy birthday Eve.
Eve, today. He didn't wish me happy birthday.
Happy
Eve.
birthday Eve.
Yes.
That was like watching a horror film. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, but there comes a point where you have to be honest about your situation and do what's necessary. But of course, they didn't do that, which is why this is entertainment. So Akash and his wife started going viral because of clips like this, and I have to say that this is a no-win situation for these two. They screwed up badly, and the only thing they can do is shut up and wait 2 weeks for everyone to forget about it. Because the reality was that most of Akash's fans didn't know about any of this, and it was just drama YouTubers making fun of them, so they could have just stayed quiet. But instead of being smart and keeping the hate isolated to people who don't even watch them, they decide to do a podcast where Akash looks super uncomfortable the whole time, and we are assured that everything that Jesslyn said was just a misunderstanding.
Repressed Indian girl that I didn't even watch Jersey Shore in high school because I felt it to be too inappropriate. So when I got to college, I'm like, oh my god, I can dress however I want, I can do whatever I want.
You can have a roster of crap. What does a roster mean?
You have a circle of guys that can
It just meant,
fuck you
like,
every
two
night.
guys I
Like,
was talking to
yeah.
and flirting with at the same time. That's it.
That's all.
Yeah.
When you say hooking up, I think people
When
think you
I
meant
mean
fucking.
hooking up, I just meant making out.
It's
Again,
ironic because you have
like, everything
a
I
TV
say
blasting
is
at like
so
50
amplified
volume,
and
bro.
hyperbolic because it's so like incongruous to who I'm actually.
What do you mean
who I
it's
actually am as a
it's
person.
new?
Thank you.
Yeah, literally.
Let me just say, as a person who uses Twitter, I don't think saying that you're Indian as an excuse for your behavior is going to make people trust you.
But I have IBS. There's no way. I do have IBS.
Indian food's never going to beat the allegations. So Jesslyn is claiming that she's innocent and was a virgin.
66 again.
I don't believe her at all.
Damn
If you
it.
listen to both episode
Maybe
6
stop
and
using
episode 7 of her podcast, it's apparent that
Thick
she's
wave,
had
I'm not even
sexual
using a thick
contact with
wave,
multiple
bro.
men, even saying that being good at oral is
Not
a
even
green
using
flag.
that either.
How would she know how to judge that if she's only been with one person?
I'm using a fire.
The best case
a fire.
scenario is that she's trying to misrepresent herself on the lines of
Maybe
technically being a
I should
virgin
use it.
because she didn't have vaginal intercourse. Though I don't believe her on that either, because trying to push your close friends into group sex is not the move of someone who has only had sex with one person. Neither is wearing incredibly revealing clothing on Instagram. So there's no way she can understand American cultural norms like the meaning of hooking up, as the wife of someone who used to be on a show called Guy Code, where they talked about stuff like that. Also, the prostitute philosophy about how a guy should value you just for existing around him.
Shut the fuck up!
Isn't either.
I'll drive
This
a
entire
funky
podcast just makes Jesleen look worse, and it makes Akash look like a loser. Right here was probably the most telling moment for me.
You're cool with him just getting a hip job massage.
Totally.
Are you act?
Yeah, I know.
Yes, I've said that it's less work for me.
I don't. Can you talk to our wives?
Maybe we'll meet at a bar. I'll drive a funky
She keeps saying how pretty Weezy is. And I was like, even then, I was like, no, the fuck, she's on top, she's on bullshit. That's why I haven't tested the
Trying to pay for Tiger.
She's our dog. She's a yapping little dog behind the fence.
I'm guessing she thinks that this is like a 4D chess move to cover up for the fact that she wants to cheat.
That song's by
She's
Oliver
only
Tree,
saying
right?
It's okay for him to do it because, for one, she knows that he won't, and because if he does cheat, she can say, well, yeah, but I said that you could do it if you
Where did
wanted
that
to.
come from?
Nobody who actually loves you and is emotionally connected would allow
Interesting,
all that.
Henry. Interesting.
This is one of those moments where a really bad person is trying to LARP as a good person, but doesn't actually know what a good
LARP.
person would say in that moment. So anything she says just further exposes her. The correct move was to apologize
Maybe
to her
we'll meet
husband,
at a bar.
ignore the haters,
I'll drive
never
a
bring this up
funky
again, and stop oversharing and treating the internet like your therapist. Also,
Maybe
you're
we'll
the
meet
real
at a
wise
bar.
comedian.
We'll
I would
drive
not
a
trust
funky
this chick
car.
to be faithful when you're around. Because when it comes to people like Jesleen,
It's not
I think
car,
the
it's
reality is
Ed.
that they actually despise the person that they're with, which is why she treats
Maybe
them
we'll
poorly and
meet
can't
at a
help but say
bar.
inappropriate
I'll
stuff.
drive a
I think
funky
a part of the gaslight from Natasha on this is that Jesleen slept on the floor with him one time when he was broke, but also they broke up when he was broke, and she mysteriously got back together with him right around the time that he started making money again, which is suspicious considering all the gold digger ideology that comes out of her mouth. However, no matter how ride or die she was in the past, I don't think that justifies her present treatment of her significant other. Now, they haven't had any drama since as far as I've seen, and her podcast appears to have been canceled, so hopefully Natasha and his wife have learned their lesson. But speaking of people who are much further down the line of publicly displaying how unhealthy their relationship
I thought Karma was trying to nap, bro.
introduce you to Anissa
I thought Karma was trying to nap.
Ian Joma, formerly known as Ian Washburn.
The only reason why we changed
And not because of your belly smacking.
my name over his last name is because his last name is like
She loves
my belly.
it's just like an ugly last name. Like Washburn sounds horrendous.
In the past, you might have recognized Anissa as the prostitute Twitch streamer girlfriend of the once popular creator iDubbbz, who was famous for doing a creator deep dive series called Content Cop that was very well liked by a huge portion of the internet. But in more recent years, it's become obvious that she wears the pants in the relationship, and therefore she has graduated from being called iDubbbz's girlfriend and earned herself her own name.
Can we chill on like asking if Ian's here or whatever? Like I get it's funny or whatever, but I've spent like the past 4 years living in his shadow, so to speak, and like I've been trying to do my own thing on the internet for 7 years before I even met him, and it is painful. I'd rather have 5 people want to be here for me than like a bunch asking for Ian. Thanks.
Congrats.
Secret Clinical gives me triple sweat protection.
Ooh, thanks.
Secret.
Of course they're black,
This is
stealing from
Become
other blacks.
Self-Made Season 2. Tune in for more real, unfiltered stories behind this.
I'll not be responsible for anything Henry says.
Now you're the star.
Even stuff like that.
You now draws far more interest in talking about iDubbbz. You made it, and all you had to do was taint the career of your husband so that it would be easy for you to outshine him. Personally, I think this is the move of a true anti-capitalist.
I'm more extreme than Ian, where I'm like pretty anti-capitalist. I hate landlords.
Now, for those of you who have jobs and don't have time to keep up with all the iDubbbz drama over the past 5 years, basically what happened is that iDubbbz, or Ian, got into a relationship with Anissa. Anissa has always wanted to be a popular streamer, but she's untalented, so she's jealous of the success of her husband.
Bang!
Because
W
she's
run.
jealous, instead of being happy for her partner's success,
22
she
to 100.
constantly sabotages his career by publicly shaming him, and instead of getting rid of this girl who obviously doesn't love him, Ian defends her, and even more damning in terms of social media, he stopped making content that people like. Now, like I said with Jesleen, the blackmailing part of this is that oftentimes in these cases, people just see the end result and make claims that you can never tell if your partner will end up like this or not. But the reality is that girls like Anissa and Jesleen always show signs that they will become like this in the future early on in the relationship. In Anissa's case, it was day one.
2016 would also be the year Anissa would begin her relationship with the once popular YouTuber iDubbbz. This relationship started out as all healthy ones do, with Anissa.
You know what I mean in a bar? I drive a funky penis.
That is not how it goes.
Yes, it is.
Maybe we'll meet at a bar. I'll drive a funky
Ranking all of the Frickner's animatronics day 7. Coffee, Anna Juke, Chipper, Sparky, Candy, Pop Goes, and Rodney. Starting with Coffee, who activates a ping pong minigame once per night that lasts about 20 seconds. If you miss even one ball, you instantly die. He only shows up once per night and can be multitasked with so manageable tier it is. Anna Jude is similar, however he creates a geometry dash type minigame where you
Geometry dash.
In my opponent, it's easier to deal with Anna Jude, so he's going in easy tier. Next is Chipper, who forces you to purchase his wood in Mendo's shop by the end of the night. When you're far into a run, it's easy to get tokens quick, and he's going in easy tier. Sparky will bark, signaling he's on the cameras. You need to flip through them and use a controlled shock to get rid of him. He gives you a surprising amount of time to find him, but you can still lose his barking sound in the chores of later nights.
Let me teach you how to draw.
Oh my god. What are these runs I'm getting? What are these runs I'm getting?
Benjamin, look at this guy. What this guy's teaching people to draw.
Let me teach you how to draw a fist playing in a squishy toy. Now we. It's not a fist, it's a squishy toy.
Henry, do you?
What were they called? The what? What the
What are you laughing for?
Yeah.
Just laughing just to laugh.
Ice Poppy Golden. So Glitch we're doing a competition on Glitch cards where the player who finishes number 1 on the leaderboard gets a mystery prize. Well, the competition is over and the mystery prize was revealed to be a golden Pomni. And the person who won it could potentially become a millionaire because that's a one-of-one golden Pomni. The only golden Pomni in the world. But there's something you guys make.
From the locking, yo.
Dude, this is so easy to make. Just
Nope.
get a 3D printer.
Wait, what?
A golden palm statue.
No, not that. You wanna know what run I just got? 9 to 100.
I love them normally, bro.
Bro, but the pre-drop just sucks. Like the rest of the pre-drop, it's just terrible. Like, if you play the pre-drop from 0, it's just miserable.
Shut up.
My bad, bro.
She's nappy.
But the
Woke her up. Look at her.
But the pre-drop from
Look at her.
She don't care.
From the government because they are too fat to work. We get to see their attitudes, their lifestyle, and above all, everything they eat in a day.
But the pre-drop from 0 is just miserable.
So, being overweight means a life.
Like you'll die to a stupid fucking time. It's just terrible. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. Bun dun bun da da bun. You see why top players get runs from like 6 to 100 now. Because when you play from 0, it's really a big factor.
The first person we meet is 30-year-old Sarah from Long Sutton who lives with her son and partner.
Correct? No.
I'm not sure a carrot cake is the best idea. Maybe a little chocolate bar would have done that, Alfie. Because I think we all agree that Alfie won't be eating the full cake. And Sarah will probably definitely be helping to eat it. Which is probably not the best idea for her because we are about to find out just how bad weight she is.
Sarah
weighs 27 stone.
Pretty sure that song's by Oliver Tree.
The average healthy weight for her height.
Please give me something good. Please, please, please. And I get a light shard. Wow.
I was depressed. I was bored.
And the only thing that
Maybe we'll meet a bar. I'll drive a funky.
doctor would like me to be a size 12, because that's what I should be for my ideal weight. I think you should be the size that you want to be. As long as you're
Carl, you can no longer
happy,
close your mouth.
then you be what you want to be.
Sarah is right. You can be what weight you want to be. But just like the doctor says, if you stay that weight, then you probably die in a
Alright, let's play 9 circles now.
Jipster! Here you go, Jip. You can't play.
Have to play 9 circles. Oh man.
As much as she has been. I'm not gonna lie, we're not really off to a good start in regards to
Maybe
Sarah's
we'll meet
attitude
a
on the show.
bar.
She says
I'll
that she
drive
hates
a
because
funky.
she still refuses to get even a part-time job or even engage in some hobbies. Because
No,
that's
Karma,
the fact
you
that
may
it
not.
became 27,000
You may not. You may not. Close your mouth.
came out around 2017.
Your mouth will
See,
be dry.
I'm telling you guys, to play from 0 is just miserable.
Sarah's son Alfie also
Ah!
has autism, and she's a registered
Yes, that's the pain I feel in my dick, bro.
towards care and costs.
Sarah is
Like, it's miserable.
claims she prefers
Maybe you'll die to
I'm gonna
the...
stroke my cock.
takeaways.
Interesting, Henry. Oh, got hair in my eye. Damn it, dude.
Owie. Stop scratching me.
She's your dog, dude. She likes you.
I'm gonna push her away.
She don't like that.
She did not want to get pushed away. Oh, now you're leaving. Loser. You're a loser.
4 people minimum. I genuinely thought it was the entire family, plus some leftovers for tomorrow. And watching him.
Maybe we'll meet at a bar. I'll drive a funky.
Having black crime is real.
Y'all love to try to blame the white man for everything.
Welcome back to
And before I start this video, I have to make
Oh my
something
God!
very, very clear.
Can you click over
Big
the...
announcement. I think it's the other-
It gets so hard to focus when you go like... When you're... There's an alarm in the background. I was actually trying to log in.
It's real.
I love you,
Shut the
Benjamin Netanyahu.
Age of War is one of the
Oh, you were
best
singing that
classes
song,
of all
dude.
time, and it is legitimately impossible to beat impossible difficulty unless you use one that was selected to use strategy.
Maybe
So I'm
we'll
gonna show you
meet
how
at
to
a
make
bar.
Age of War 1,
I'll
2,
drive a
and
funky.
I don't think he's gonna chase us in here. Oh my god! No, no! Holy shit. Holy shit! Dude, I don't care.
Bing.
And the max of a pea shooter sold the entirety of Happy's 2. Now, pea shooter, we all can agree, is the face of Plants vs. Zombies. But it hurts me to say this, it kinda sucks. And this suckiness leads to it never being used. Which made me realize, why not use a crazy loading system?
Fortnite can turn sprites into sidekicks, because we all know sprites are eventually leaving at the end of the season. And while Fortnite did add the sprite mod backlink to preserve the ones you collected, a lot of players hate it because you can barely even see them. So I thought there had to be a better way, and ended up turning them into actual sidekicks and a fully visible backlink, which is honestly the least Fortnite could give players after spending an entire season collecting them. Fortnite can turn sprites...
You say you fed the outside dog?
Yeah.
Come say hi, Karma. Grab it now!
What's your number?
What are you watching?
6'7". 6'7", 6'7".
Interesting, man. Interesting.
There's 3 hours left in the season, and I have 21 collectibles. Let's make some decisions here. Please, I have so many things. I don't care. I want one that close. Okay, nothing good so far. Oh my god, I don't need power points on this account. Please, give me a chaos drop or something. No, no, chaos drop, chaos drop. Finally, okay, ladies and gentlemen, our first chaos drop spam. Okay, 13 left. Give me. I don't need power points. Please give me another chaos drop. Oh my god, there's no chaos drops. Chaos drop, chaos drop. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's no chaos drops. Oh my god, there's literally 0 chaos drops. Okay, here we go, another one. Spam. Okay, 5. Oh my god, 4 chaos drops. Nice. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Wait a second. Is this whole opening worth it? 1. Oh! Oh! Oh my god, my quest for 8 ultras might end right here. 1. Oh! 2, 2, give me 4, give me 4. 1. No! No! That is why you always buy the chaos drop if you have the option. There's 3 hours left in the season.
No skill. What do you mean? Russell's no skill.
I've been pushing my Larry and Lori to try and hit Prestige 67, and now we're only one game off. So
Bro.
it's a matchmaking.
Oh
we end up
my god!
Team calls, so we're really gonna need to play it smart. I
It's
stopped by getting
so fucking hard to focus right here.
Bro's fighting a whole team of grips.
Be a great pass, and now
Whatever the fuck, bro.
We're stuck getting desperate for a goal. Flexes are too fast for them, and we are able to score again.
Yo, what's the healing up
We end
this
up
one?
securing some decent stats, and after a long grind, we're finally able to get Prestige 67. I've been pushing our Larry and Lori to try and pick Prestige 67, and now we're only one game off to the top of the sub matchmaking. And we end up facing off against some really annoying team calls, so we're really gonna need to play it smart. I started by getting some good hits on the grips and barely managed to escape, and I'm able to control this ball to keep up the pressure. My motor stand gives me a great pass, and now we're up 1-0. The grips start getting desperate for a goal and almost managed to kill me, but our reflexes.
Using the Heliopolis song. Interesting, Henry. Always trying to distract me, bro. Let's fucking. Was the. What is it called? The orgasm necessary, bro?
What do you mean? That is buzzing.
Yeah, the orgasm.
It's not an orgasm, it's a buzz.
A buzz.
I busted.
So an
I
Shoot.
bro.
I'm dead. Granny 1 has 5 different difficulties. Practice, easy, normal, hard, and extreme mode. With
Extreme
mode
demons.
intending to be the ultimate challenge. As a matter of fact, if you watch my Shimo video, you would know it took me 10 hours to beat it. But what if I told you guys there's a difficulty even harder than extreme? Today I present to you guys Granny 1 Impossible mode. Not only is Granny faster than she is in extreme mode, but essential routes that you take to outplay Granny are just completely blocked off. And for the cherry on top, you cannot hide anywhere, not even under tables anymore. So if Granny gets a glimpse of you, 90% of the time, you're dead. So without further ado, grab a snack, and let's see if I can beat Impossible mode. We meet again, Granny. Ladies and gentlemen, now if you take a look at the screen, you'll see that we're not in no ordinary Granny today. We're in Granny Recapture. Now, what is so special about Granny Recapture? Let me show you. It has a difficulty. You see? We're on extreme mode right now. I did some practicing. But if you click on this difficulty button,
can you take me higher?
Impossible. Enemies move crazy fast. 2 extra locks on the front door. Darker mode is on. More obstacles and fewer weapons.
No goofiness in this video, guys. I have no idea what to expect. Extreme mode was pretty fast already, bro. Oh, look at this, look at this. The recapture has outlines on items. No, I'm not losing any items today. How fast does she? Pretty fast, nothing we can't handle. It's just kind of stupid still. So things don't change, You guys may be worried from my gameplay.
No!
But I have genuinely leveled up like crazy. Yeah, Freddy has no mercy for anybody.
What the fuck?
It's gonna...
Could have fluked it from like 60 and I died at 94.
Like crazy.
I thought you were about to.
I've been watching.
Bro, I thought you were about to start like screaming and shit because you said you were gonna watch. You were gonna be like, ah!
So let me show you guys a thing or two. Because we're gonna need it all to beat this.
Damn it, dude! Oh my god! This jump. That's gotta be a frame perfect.
I haven't memorized none of that yet. But I have a good idea of how to work.
Of course, I knew I was gonna die. The end cube.
Consider Granny work.
Of course I
Like,
knew.
if you ask me what preset this is, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I only know preset like 1 and 3, the one where the book spawns in your room, and then those are the only presets I know. So I don't know like what exit's good. Brother, here we go again. Dude, you guys in the comments were going crazy on me. Check this out. Oh my gosh, it's real. Oh my gosh, it's real. We don't have to scroll Instagram Reels while we wait for Bear Trap. She always places these brutal bear traps, bro. Check this. It's so beautiful. You guys are crazy, bro. There's a million different granny things you guys want me to do. I literally have a note on my phone dedicated to granny stuff you guys want me to do. Yeah, so I actually don't know this preset. I don't know this preset. Throw that there. Dude, I'm actually about to show you guys the craziest rags to riches story. I've even learned some tech. Check this out, guys. You guys are genuinely not ready for this. Nah! When have I ever been moving like time is our friend? Actually, time is not our friend because she's fast, but holy, there's a creek there? That's gotta be new. That's gotta be new in impossible mode, bro. There's never a creek there. Oh my gosh, why would they do this?
Top players talking about some. Don't use glow, you'll expand your hitbox. Think I give a fuck? Don't use glow, it'll make your hitbox look wider.
This is my entire strategy.
Okay, cool.
If you guys watched my extreme mode video, you know that's my entire strat. Freaking stupid.
Never use glow. Make your hitbox look bigger. Fortunate news for you, my friend. Bang.
100,000 supplements in the U.S. 100% needed FDA approval. But there's one brand backed by 22 years experience, 15,000 physicians, and third-party testing. So you can trust their numbers every single time. Theralogics. Supplements taken seriously.
Announcement time. Ready? I don't think you're ready.
I'm not ready.
Get ready.
No.
Alright, well, your girl Jay is officially going to be back on 2025. That's right. Seattle, Washington, I'm coming for you.
Okay. Who are you? I like the added touch of her not being able to set down the 200-calorie drink to tell people that she's going to an obesity convention. But now I'm interested. Let's hear about FatCon.
So, for those wondering what FatCon is, well, it's literally what it sounds like. It's a fat liberation convention taking place in Seattle, Washington. FatCon has so much to offer, like tons of programming and keynote speakers and movement classes and literally like everything you could possibly dream of.
Except for nutrition classes. I noticed how we got the exercise classes in there because walking like 10 steps and doing some chair yoga is not that hard. But we forgot really the only education that matters for them, which is learning how to eat less. Conveniently, the convention has everything but that as far as I can see. Let's get more into it, but first, let me tell you about this video's sponsor, Raycon. It's been a few months since I did my first
69?
Raycon, and now that I've had more time to use earbuds, I have to say
How
that
much
I
is it?
really like these things. The people at Raycon seem to have a
$69.69. $69.69. What I did to your mother.
the ability to pair my earbuds with two different devices simultaneously. So if I want to be connected to my laptop and my phone at the same time, I can do that. Raycon Everyday Earbuds.
Arcade Craniacs needs to retire, bro.
An 8-hour battery life.
Arcade
if you recharge,
Craniacs.
and a 32-hour battery life if you let them recharge the case. So basically, these things never run out of battery.
He's the guy that did the Among Us potion at 3 a.m. That guy.
Raycons have a quick charge function that will give you
We're gonna do the
90
gay
minutes of
potion
battery
at
life
3 a.m.
which is plenty of power to get you through something like a workout.
69.
My second favorite
What
thing
I
about
do
these
to your
earbuds
mother.
is that they fit really well into the ear and do not fall out. So if you want to check out Raycon's everyday earbuds, then go to buyraycon.com/TVYS to get 20% off. That's buyraycon.com/TVYS or click on the first link in the description. Alright, welcome to FatCon, the biggest fat convention on the West Coast. FatCon has been going on for 2 years now, and it takes place in Seattle, Washington. At the convention, you can hear a talk from one of the excellent guests. You can meet a real-life mermaid. You can tape a paper to a door that says slut. You can eat ice cream.
When Postmates delivers 6 times the amount of ice cream you ordered, you have no choice but to show a tiny amount of value to appreciate the format this week. And it sure did.
That sounds like a real
Hi,
time
Karma.
to have. What a memory. And of course, don't forget the fashion shows because there's a lot of fashion at this convention. But most importantly,
That's what I thought.
FatCon is all about bringing people together
You
in
keep
larger
looking at me like
bodies
that?
to spread fat joy.
Talk to my
That
girl like
joy
that,
to
I'm gonna kill
me
you.
is letting go of shame and allowing myself to feel good
You know,
in the body.
mismatched
that I am.
eyebrows.
I am glorifying
Stop talking about
obesity
that. She
every
misses
day,
that old
and that is my fat joy.
Why does this woman talk like she owns more than
Shame.
5
Dirty
pounds?
fucking
I mean,
slut.
I'm getting the vibes of someone who not only glorifies obesity, but also cheerfully says the term fur babies a lot.
Fat joy, in all of its expressions, is a rebellion. Parts of our culture tell us that
Fat
we're
culture.
only
Shut the
allowed
fuck
to be
up!
fat as long as we're trying to get thin, or as long as we're healthy and completely able.
That's not a rebellion, that's called giving up. You find joy in not being healthy and not
Look
being
at this little
completely
doggy.
able.
Look at this little
Anyway,
doggy.
FatCon's goal is not just to bring people
Well,
together to
cute
spread
little
fat
dog.
joy.
Yeah, what's up? What did you show me?
Look at this cute little dog.
Oh, Connor, I see.
Our mission is
Yeah,
to improve
you're
the
saying
lives
Connor's
of
not
fat
cute.
humans.
No, of course. I just thought you were talking about something on your phone.
We don't seek acceptance, we seek fat
I'm
liberation.
playing Brawl Stars.
What's the
Why would I
hell
be
is fat
talking about a
liberation?
dog?
Fat liberation aims to
Maybe you'd be
reclaim
scrolling
power
reels,
over
I don't
fat
know.
bodies and lives so that folks can live free from discrimination and
What is that saying?
persecution.
Is
Oh, so you're like
Are you saying that's something you don't do?
pizza. That seems to be what they're saying here.
Your girl Ray is going to FatCon 1887. Kill yourself. The worst part, she's black.
What this person who is still pointlessly wearing a mask in 2025
interesting, Henry.
is saying
Interesting.
is that instead of actually fixing their life problems, they're going to try to bully the government into giving them special protections, as if they were like confined to a wheelchair from a spinal injury, or if they were people with real disabilities that aren't self-inflicted. That's what this convention seems to be mostly about, and this kind of ideology has been quite an annoying trend of the radical left. I have this self-inflicted problem, and instead of fixing it, I demand that everyone cater to me.
I'm dedicating 2025 to fighting fat and quality civil rights, and I want to be part of this revolution.
That was the girl from the start, and she has eaten herself into having such severe breathing problems that she has to use an assisted breathing device for most of the day, as a young person.
Oh my god.
There's a carrot, there's a carrot, there's a carrot. I need that carrot.
Whether it's
Give me the
being
beer.
away from a doctor's office, not picking a seat on public transportation, or being unfairly judged in the workplace. These aren't just inconveniences, they're human rights violations.
Man, I just used a robot
Okay,
voice.
it's a
You
human
like
rights
it?
violation if you can't fit into a chair at a restaurant. Maybe she can sue them like that girl sued Lyft because she was too obese to fit into a car.
Just like the civil rights movements that have reshaped history, we're fighting for a world where fat people are treated with fairness.
I just lost my
not just
super because the
This
dish
is about the right to
was in
exist
front of me and
without
I
fear of
couldn't shoot it in time.
exclusion,
Like I used
or
my super. man.
You are being treated fairly. You get the same size chair as everyone else. It's equal. What you're asking for is called privilege.
Let's push for the fat equality bill of rights to become a law, because your body deserves justice. We deserve justice. So join me. Head to change.org/fattequality.
Fine, I guess I used a normal octopus cube.
Okay, I have to see this. let's go take a look at the Fat Bill of Rights. She starts out by saying, we have been treated as less than or invisible. I assure you, Jay, that both of those things are not possible. Then she goes on about how she is mad that she has to pay more for airline seats. Let's get to her demands. Number 3, all individuals must receive health care in environments equipped with size-inclusive equipment, such as lighter MRI machines, appropriately calibrated scales, and larger hospital gowns. Got it. So she wants hospitals to spend millions of dollars on new machines, so she doesn't have to go to the zoo to weigh herself. Number 4, employers must provide
That's a real thing they do.
ergonomic seating and appropriately sized uniforms.
How dare you
Number 5,
be that
all
fat
individuals,
and
regardless of body
left
size, have the right to comfortable and accessible seating in all public spaces. Jeez, how many of these rights have to
By
do
the way,
with
it's
this woman being too
self-inflicted.
fat to sit down in a regular chair?
Like so.
Kevin like? No, it's fine. There's a shortage of chairs.
Oh, 8 of them. 8 out of 10 of these rights have to do with sitting down. You can't make this shit up. This actually seems to be a strong
Yeah, Kobe,
body
you can't
positivity
have that,
movement.
Kaze. It's mine. Did the power just go out?
We're all gonna die! Ah!
Dude, the power just went out.
Don't worry, I can still play 9 circles.
I might have to kick you off.
I'm kidding!
I said I want to play Isaac.
Think that. I'll go check it out. We go check it out together?
Nah, I'm good. I'm in the middle of the match.
Yeah, but I'll be right back. I think I know what happened. Alright, yeah, we'll get it back.
How long?
12.
Even she's annoyed.
Yeah, right, Karma? And you go straight to assaulting her with your feet, okay.
Assault if she's my puppy. And by the way, Ben, seriously, get off the computer.
Why?
Because I fucking said so.
After this attempt.
No. Now.
Why, do you want a goon?
No, I want to play Binding of Isaac. And also my computer runs out of battery really quickly. Run. Run, Surge. Surge! Oh my god. Fucking juice.
Alright guys, I'll hop back on later.